Redelivered the Zeranium ore crystal to Georgie. That's 4. Alright, looks like you got a pretty hefty amount. This should be enough to make a top rate touchy for Valimar. Really? Once this is done, I'll finally be able to fight Crow on equal term, aka sort of. Yeah, if we manage to finish it. This is going to be significantly more difficult than reinforcing Valimar's existing sword as ever was. Remember, we'll be making an entirely new weapon from scratch. I'm not sure we can manage by ourselves. I might even have to ask the professor for help. You got no choice, buddy. So it's finally time for Professor Smith to come into play. Yep, we got enough Zeranium ore for him to work with, so I can't see why he would turn us down. Although I can't say I'm all excited to have him on board. Oh well, I better start getting what we need ready. Pardon me for asking, but why wouldn't you want to have him on board? Well, as you no doubt figured out from when you last meet him, he's not easy to work with. And if his workspace isn't absolutely perfect, he'll throw a tantrum like you've never seen. He's unbelievable. It feels less like you're working with a renowned professor and more like babysitting a temperamental child. I didn't even say that correctly. Shee. I see. They do say genius are often... Was it ecstatic? Anyway, I'll call the institute as soon as I finish sorting his work area out. You don't mind helping me out with some more, right? Choosing to help George make his workshop will cause the main story to advance. As a result, all unfinished quests will disappear. That's why I said, when you're doing those shrines, just do them all at once. Do all your blue ones too. Or, I mean, my bad, your blue chests as well. Makes it quicker, makes it faster. And so right now you can just screw around, but I am practically done, so I hit the wrong button. Georgie! Let's help out. If his workspace isn't absolutely perfect, he'll throw a tantrum like you've never seen, so let's make sure we're good here first. Once we're done, I'll call the institute and invite him on board. You don't mind helping me out some more, right? Yep, this will choose to advance the store, unfinished quests will disappear. Help! I'll be happy to help right now. Sure am. Thanks, Reed. With both of us here, the work will be done in no time's flat. They went about making the best workspace they could. Afterward, George made contact with Ruhr Institute of Technology. And the time finally came to welcome Professor Smith on board the Regis. But not quite up to my standards, but being that we're limited in our options inside the ship, this will have to do. It can't compare to the facility in the institute, but you made the best with what you had, I suppose. Sheesh. Thanks, I guess. So there it is. I didn't expect you to obtain any Zeranium ore at all, much less this much of it. Where exactly did you find it? Class 7 obtained it from overcoming some very challenging trials. Come on, is what you asked for? So you'll help us, right? That doesn't answer my question in the slightest. I'll have you know. Then again, the answers changes little. I'm a man of my word. You did what you were asked, so I'll drive you the finest blueprint the world has ever seen. Still, on a project like this is not without a series of trials and error. Your assistance will be crucial, George. Just don't get in my way of my work. Right, anything you say. Well, so that's the famous Professor G. Smut. He's as much of a cranky old fart as everyone say he is. He and George seems to work really well together, though, don't they? Well, if I recall, they were once master and student. He got those dashing good looks, but his personality leaves a lot to be desired. Teach. It doesn't take much to impress you, does it? Working with uranium ore is no doubt going to be a challenge. And they will need to finish a way to use it and replicate the sharpness of a Tachi. Still, with Professor Smith on board, I'm sure they'll manage. He's the finest engineer in the country, if nothing else. Yeah, we'll just have to keep out of their hair and let them do what they do best. Finally, work on Valamir's touchy gun. George and Professor Smith waited as quickly as they could so that Class 7 would be ready when the time for the final battle came. And while they were working, the Courageous received a sudden and unexpected call.
Are you sure, Captain?
Yes, absolutely. Several days ago, the Alliance moved their line of defense around the capital westward. Which means that the east side of the capital, and in particular the area around Trista, are much more exposed than before.
That could totally work in our favor.
Lucky us. Yeah, it sounds like we might finally be able to achieve what we set out to do.
We finally have a chance to wrestle the Academy from the Alliance's grasp.
Guess the Alliance is so focused on trying to defend Heimdall, they don't have time to worry about Trista. We couldn't have asked for a better chance than this.
I have some other news that may be of interest to you as well. The Noble Alliance forces are no longer the ones supervising Thor's military academy. Instead, they've assigned that task to the upper-class students, so the army can focus on defending the capital.
Why the upper-class students?
They're still
I
nobles.
imagine they were chosen so the Academy would technically still be under the control of the nobility. I'm sure they're up to the task either way.
Are we talking about all of the upper-class students or just a select number of them?
The Academy is being overseen by a group of students calling themselves the Order of the Lion. The group is centered around high-ranking nobles, and its commander is one of the sons of Marquis Higharms, Patrick T. Higharms.
Patrick? I'd heard that he was still at the Academy, but just what is he doing?
And what's this Order of the Lion?
I know nobles love tradition, but that name sounds like something torn from a history textbook.
Other key members include the son and daughter of Count Florald,
I
together
accidentally
with
hit
the
it too
butler
quickly.
and maid from the upper-class dormitory. To my knowledge, the principal and the other instructors remain imprisoned within the academy itself, however.
Ferris is taking part too?
If I had to wager a guess, the Alliance ordered them to. Not like they're in a position to refuse.
That's a little worrying.
Principal Van Dyke is an honorary general of the army as well, so naturally, the army is concerned for his well-being. As such,
But he's
we at the
retired.
RMP are preparing to liberate Trista and the academy from the nobility. It will be carried out before the battle for Heimdall can begin, using our most elite units.
Oh.
But that means...
Captain, would you consider postponing your operation for at least a few days?
Reen,
Do you not think the RMP is up to the task?
I don't doubt for a moment that you are. But since the day we were entrusted with the Courageous, no, even before that, liberating the Academy has been our dream.
Your dream should be
I
our
don't just
goal.
mean Class 7's dream either. It's something that every single student gathered on this ship wants to be a part of. Whether someone else could handle it isn't the issue. It's
Thank you, Reem.
Oops! Ang beses nito ko to.
I feel the same way as Reem does. Thor's was established by one of my ancestors, so I feel a connection to it in that sense. It feels only right that those who have an attachment to the Academy should come together to take it back.
She's absolutely right. We've come all this way believing it would lead us back to the Academy. We can't just leave the last step of our journey to you. After all that's happened, I think we're the ones who should be fighting that Order of the Lion, don't you?
Yeah, you're right!
Gunnery Officer Allen.
Yep,
Dang.
it's gotta be us. We've all put an enormous amount of effort into making it this far. It's only fair, right?
We wouldn't be setting a very good example as second years if we didn't see tasks we've taken on through to the end.
I want to go and save Uncle Makaron too! That's a lot of yes votes right there.
I'm pleased to see we're all unanimous.
Yeah, I want to do this too, Claire!
Really, Milliam? You too?
So, Captain, please, won't you leave taking back Trista and the Academy to us?
We realize we're asking a lot, but this is genuinely important to us.
When I finally see Dad again, I want to be able to look back and feel proud of all I've done.
I was never raised to beg, but in this case, no price is too great.
I wasn't expecting to get quite so strong a reaction from you. It's almost like we went to different schools. I've never felt quite the devotion and attachment to the Academy all of you clearly possess. So it's a little strange for me to see how much each of you are willing to sacrifice, just so you can liberate Trista together. But strange in a good way.
Is that a yes?
We'll wait 2 days. Trista will form a vital base in our operation to take Heimdall. It needs to be liberated as soon as possible. I hope that will be enough time for you to achieve your dream of taking it back.
Thank you, Captain.
If you weren't with the RMP already, you'd make a hell of an actress, you know. You put on quite a show for someone who was gonna say yes all along.
And what makes you say that? Regardless, I will be praying for your success. I look forward to seeing you all again in Heimdall after this war is over.
Thank you!
Good luck to you too, Captain!
Finally, Class 7 was granted permission to liberate Trista. They left deciding the specific of the operation to Thor. And eventually, it was decided that they would carry out the mission on the same day a prototype of Valimar's new Tachi was completed. Trista liberation. 12:30.
The operation will begin today at 1200 hours. Make sure you've done everything you need to do before then.
As you already know, I won't be taking part in this one. This one's all you.
But hope
My
you didn't
job
build
as
it
a
too much.
teacher is to stay here and wish you luck. I know you can do it.
Thank you.
We've still got some time until then, so it might be worth going around and making sure we've got all we need.
Yeah, we can't be too prepared. Not this time.
Incidentally, how goes the development of Valamar's Tachi?
The prototype was finished last night. There's still some work left before it's completely finished. But personally, I'd say the progress we've made is nothing to scoff at.
Professor Schmidt's really something, isn't he? I guess, but he could lighten up a little. I went to go play down in his workshop and he was all super mad at me.
Were you expecting to be welcomed with a hug and some candy?
Right.
Anyway, by the sound of it, he's going to keep finding ways to improve it until the very last minute. I'm going to be swamped with helping him out, but I should still be able to tune your Arcus units if you guys need it.
We just might take you up on that, George.
Whatever ensures you're as ready as possible. So much is resting on this battle. I don't want us to go in with any regrets.
Right.
All members of Class 7 will take part in the battle for Trista, whether they are in the active party or not. As such, make sure to check everyone's equipment, including that of character you may not originally use. To advance the main story, speak to Tawa in the captain's chair and select Commence Operation.